What is going on, FFTV viewers? It's been a minute. We're back live, man. This is it. The Premier League has been going on. There's a lot of action, a lot of things going on, and we're here to talk about it. We got City and Liverpool. First of all, everybody here at this table.
First of all, we back, bro. We back.
Yeah, facts. We social distancing a little bit, you know.
I see you every day. We good.
You feel me? Yo, you know, before anybody gets mad, we've been safe, you know, quarantined for a bit. That's why we haven't been shooting. But
we're neighbors.
We're gonna start off first by congratulating Liverpool. Obviously, I don't think anybody here.
I mean, well deserved.
Yeah.
They really single-handed dominated the league this season. They outclassed everyone.
100%.
So 100% respectless. Going back to Champions League, they also, let's be real, they didn't deserve that knockout. But hey, they lost. But definitely what a season for them, I got to say.
And now talking on Liverpool, we just seen the City game of Guardiola completely violating Klopp, 4-0 back with the guard of honor.
Slapped them
What do y'all think?
Start up.
I honestly believe that was the team that Klopp a week before was like, I don't know how I'm 23 points above them.
Word.
Doesn't make up.
Word.
That's the City that we all know.
Yeah,
let's
for
all
sure.
be real. Me as a United fan, that team is scary. You know,
100%.
we all know that.
100%.
Them losing Leroy, look at Phil Foden looking this weekend. He's finally living up to the potential.
That's
And what I have to give Foden, just quiet. Right. Well, all the media was talking. A lot of people were bambling, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
He's not getting minutes. Now he's showing up. And what I loved the most was how Pep pregame breaking down to him what he expects from Foden.
Mm-hmm.
And as a player, Foden really did shine that thing.
But why do you think Liverpool 4-0? How do you think they managed to come up with that result?
Maybe they got really too lit, you feel me, for the celebrations. That's what I'm thinking. Because Robertson and Gomez were lost.
Bro, no funny. You know how they take the water breaks?
Yeah.
I really feel like there was some beer in those drinks.
Like
like at 27 minutes, couple of gin, they was drinking. There was some beer.
I'll definitely tell you, the only gap difference was obviously defensive problems that City was definitely facing.
Right.
But it seems like they were getting that together pretty well. We saw a lot of Sterling. Kevin De Bruyne is something else.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely got a case for Champions League. Like I told you guys once before, you know, they're going back to Madrid. I think they could win, so that you can't count Pep out in anything right now.
And Reeks, I know you wanted to comment on this topic, especially because City is versing Madrid in the semifinal, right?
Quarterfinal.
Round of 16. So, let me know. What do you think?
Well, that's the thing. For me, that's why the 4-0 happened. Because Liverpool season's done.
Yeah.
City's still got 2 trophies to fight, right? Because they're out of Carabao.
They're in the FA.
So they
won the Carabao.
Right. So
Exactly.
they still win. So they can still have an amazing season.
If you imagine him taking the FA Cup and leaving with a Champions League,
bro, come on.
And the thing is, think about it. Liverpool been going for the league. Think about last season alone. It went to the last game.
Yeah.
Now they didn't win the title. Now they went through how many months did you see before COVID? About 5-6 months. We all knew they were going to win the league. They had to wait an extra 3 months. Once they won the league, they're good. They don't honestly. People are talking about the points tally, wins tally. But they don't care about that.
No, but
once the league was done, once they won the league, they're good.
You don't think
so
they want to be
everything
historic,
from
though?
now on, they could talk about we're gonna play for pride. They're good. They're gonna a couple more losses before the season's over. Watch.
You think so?
For Liverpool, watch. Couple more.
I think
2-3
for
more.
Liverpool, it was a big loss, only for one reason, to etch the name in history. I don't think Liverpool right now are going to be the winners of the Champions League. I don't think they have the capability of winning it back-to-back. And I think for Liverpool, it was a really great opportunity to go down in one of the best teams of history to grace that Premier League.
It's over.
We've seen City 17-18 break a bunch of records, and Liverpool had the chance to break these records. I know they're the first team to win it 7 games early.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have done a little more. I know it's one game. They could still break a bunch of more records, but I think if I was Klopp, I would still keep going at it. But I think Klopp, what he's seeing is, you know, these records mean nothing right now if I don't win another title. And I think he might want to go for Champions League, and we're going to see how
But
that
champions
pans out.
don't do that. Champions don't go down.
4-0
4-0.
is tough.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell. That's what I was gonna point out. Like, they got outclassed. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got outclassed by Watford. Simple as that. It's not even before they won
And
the
the
league.
thing is that we didn't see that from Liverpool all season. Them getting slapped like that.
But also,
honestly, the I'm sorry, but the second run of Liverpool after it was after that Watford loss. I feel like
they were a little
exposed
iffy.
a lot.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
lost to Atletico and then Chelsea beat them. So I feel like if the season would have started now, City would have ran with the league again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're starting to slip up again, but I got to give it a club. The only signing he made was what, Minamino?
Minamino.
So it's like, all right.
And they're not gonna sign.
I don't. You think they need?
He said
they need.
But he said that if they're gonna sign, it's only rotational in depth.
That's not enough.
They don't need starters.
It's not enough. I'm telling you, United's gonna strengthen. We've already started strengthening. City's definitely gonna strengthen. They need something.
Defensive.
The link with Thiago.
Yeah, I mean,
They need something.
we've seen the City game. They definitely have the qualities to win, and go on. But the thing about City is the defensive problems is immaculate. I mean, we've seen them against Chelsea, and they got ripped to shreds.
God.
They were playing great. Don't get me wrong. The second half, they got a couple chances. But I mean, on the counterattack, Pulisic, what a player that is for Chelsea. What an acquisition that's been for Chelsea. But for the most part, I mean, City's defense needs a lot of work.
I think Pulisic is the best player on the Chelsea team at the moment.
Currently, I really think he is. Yeah,
I wouldn't even deny that. I would
have to.
I agree with
that.
that.
Not being biased
he's
as an
immense
American.
player.
Not being
I would agree.
not being biased
I
as
mean,
an American.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, the thing is,
His movement on the ball, his touches. I have to give him the credit. The pace.
Before we get into Captain America, I want to. You think you guys City's gonna take the league back next season, or you think
100%?
Because he was already saying.
I think this is a
I'm
one-off.
hearing this thing about it's gonna be a little dynasty for it. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be City again
one-off.
next
It's a
season,
one-off.
honestly.
See, he said 100%, but you're
What, as in
missing.
who?
You're
That Liverpool will not retain next season.
Okay.
Oh, okay. See,
Okay.
I agree with that
Yeah.
solely for the one reason because you got Chelsea coming in hot. You also got United coming in hot.
Dark
And
horses.
I
Dark
think
horses.
You know,
those-
I
think
don't want
those
to put
14
Chelsea in there yet.
No.
Far
With
off.
Timo
Werner coming in.
Hakeem, two proven
Ziyech-
players.
What?
Like it's not like Hakeem doesn't have
Yeah.
any type of experience. Hakeem has a experience on an international level. I think he does captain the Moroccan team, and on top of that, we've seen the sorcery he was doing with Ajax.
Ooh.
Man's is great.
Hey, you know what's crazy? We talking about teams who's fighting for Champions League right now next season, trying to fight for the title.
Like
That's
it's
what 3-4 teams.
to me, it's insane. Like next season, to really break it down, like all right, season's still not over. There's like what 7 games left.
About
I think 7 games left, and you already have United, Leicester, Chelsea, Wolves.
Mhm.
Sheffield just got a W.
Spurs.
Nah,
still,
but they've been terrible
Debatable.
since the
They-
restart.
But
since
no,
we-
but
they're in it,
but
though.
they just beat Tottenham 3-1. So
That's another discussion.
so definitely. So I do believe next season, and we still left out Everton, and we still left out Arsenal. We cannot count Ancelotti out. That's a man that did win a Premier League title.
How you see this top 4 race finishing off this season?
This season, it's difficult.
Who's the real
I'll be
challengers
honest with you.
of all those
I
teams?
said it a couple episodes months back. I was like, all they should just give up the top 4 race and focus on
It's a
Europa
fact.
League.
Yo, it's crazy.
I
wouldn't.
It's great. Nah, it's
No,
crazy.
I'm saying how I said that, and now it's
Oh yeah,
they're
right.
basically
Because
in it. So
Leicester's dropped and Chelsea's
I can't
dropped.
I can't really say who's gonna win top
Who's gonna-
4. Honestly, because if we would have talked about who had top 4, you would. Let's be real. Before this quarantine, you would have thought Leicester was gonna be dropping this 4.
Shooing.
They were shooting. I was like, oh, that's it. They're gone with it.
You
too.
know what? I say
They had a
shooing,
chance
but
to come
I see
back
no,
to
not even.
Liverpool. Everybody was hoping that Leicester would be the ones that would take Liverpool down.
To bring Liverpool to close the gap,
Yeah.
to give it a title race. But then that game,
They got
sliced
slapped.
too. So
But that's why I seen them dropping off. I think they had lost to Liverpool, a couple more draws, and I'm like,
You
right
did
when
s-
COVID, I'm like, I think we could catch them.
I think-
United could catch them. Chelsea could catch them.
you guys are tied on points, or you guys like off?
point behind, one point behind, and you
It's-
guys are
it's
2
a
points.
But that's
behind.
what the
3-point
West
difference,
Ham
it's a 3-point
result.
That's why you
Yeah.
hurts.
could have went into
See,
third, bro.
That's why the West Ham result hurts.
Speaking on that, I think when you asked where we're gonna end, I genuinely think United have a really strong opportunity to
Up
finish
top.
either third.
Because remember, fifth too. Fifth is also Champions
It's
League.
but I also
But you can't go based off of that until City's decision.
Yeah.
is-
all right.
I genuinely think United have a really strong opportunity at finishing third. And what I see is I see United at just a complete force right now. The only problem with United is there's no depth. Their second string,
Facts.
when it comes in, does not
Facts.
replicate what the first string does. We see
You
the
do
magic
see
of
it.
Bruno Fernandes. We
And
see the
Pogba.
magic of Pogba. These players are immaculate.
Rashford,
They
But you know
Rashford's
what?
been insane.
I wouldn't
Rashford's
even
been-
go as far as saying the depth because those two just make the difference.
Yeah, 100%.
So even the 11 and Rashford too, because before the same guys were out there. You still had
it's-
Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is balling. Wan-Bissaka he's had a good season, but those two, Bruno and once they came back,
See,
a whole different. Everyone became
Greenwood deserves some credit.
Greenwood has
But before Pogba and Bruno was on, before Bruno was signed, and before Pogba when he was injured, and then we lost Rashford, Greenwood.
He stepped up.
It's sad at that time. Our only hope would be like, let's put an 18-year-old in. We all said that.
Yeah.
But when he would come in, he was already lethal.
Mhm.
Like, he would cause damage.
Yeah.
So this shows you certain players carry a certain persona and image. So
Respect.
regardless, when they step on the field, it's automatic respect. They know, like, oh man, it's over.
Like, yeah.
Like Andre Gray's interview with Culture Camp.
Yeah.
He what did he say? He was like, this
Oh, yeah,
man
he bossed
Pogba
it. Yeah, bro.
came off the bench.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone was like, oh my god, he didn't even tie his shoes.
Yeah.
Mans was not in the tying shoes and he was bodying them.
Because you shouldn't need an 18-year-old to try and save the day. Like, even Rashford, when he was playing, it felt like he was the one. Now
Carrying
he
the
can
team on
look
the back.
and he can see Bruno. All right, cool. I can look. I see Paul.
But they need
Pogba,
to pull
he's
what
doing
City did and start building a bench because you
Yeah.
can't too much rely on Pereira. You can't Mata's on his
Oh,
way
he gotta
out.
go.
You
Pereira
know what
gotta
I'm
go.
saying? So you could have rotational players. You could grow. The lot is something to grow for the future. Hopefully we see Fosu Mensah in that good run that he had in the past because I think he's definitely special talent. So maybe
Oh,
he's
and-
trying to focus on that. But
Don't forget either. Credit to Ole. I give
For
credit to
sure,
Ole, too.
but
being
like,
patient, I gave up on that man a while ago. But I have to stay quiet.
real quick. Mason Greenwood, I don't even look at him as a youth player anymore. I mean, when I see the kid play, I'm just like, he's a first team player, and it's hard to drop the kid. I mean, every time he's in the box, I know he's scoring. He's a lefty and righty. He's just one of those strikers, one of those generational talents. And eventually, I could see him, Foden, all these players with Jadon Sancho being at top, challenging for Ballon d'Or. These players are great. They're wonderful. And the thing with United too that you brought up, with Bruno and Pogba, we seen Rashford playing with the same United squad. You know,
Right.
obviously without
Those two.
And Rashford was getting goals. He was doing great. He was carrying the team for a certain point, but the play wasn't there. You get me? These two players come in, and not only are we winning, but the whole style of play is different. I mean,
Silky. It's
fans
like-
are content.
yeah.
We're seeing just connections
Seeing
we
the
haven't
best
seen
out of
before.
Matic.
Skills.
Seeing one touch.
They're
plays,
bringing
slicks
like
and
the
all that,
the
yeah.
energy has been brought up in the club, so that's why I see United finishing either third or fourth. But
What do you think
like
about
we got Chelsea on the back end. I mean, Chelsea are lethal, bro.
You guys tell me from outside. I'll tell you from inside looking out, but you tell me from outside looking in. Are you see Chelsea as a real threat to take that fourth spot?
No.
I
Oh,
got-
fourth?
No, to get in the top four.
I think they'll
Yeah.
break the top four.
Yeah,
You think
I
they'll
think
make
it'll
it?
end it. I think it'll either end with Chelsea third or
Because
United third.
United
and then
still have
fourth
to face
swap.
Leicester.
Uh-huh.
And Chelsea still has to face Wolves. So
And Liverpool. Chelsea got to play Liverpool too.
yeah, but when at the end of the last game,
Last two games is Liverpool and Wolves.
so now
Sheesh.
that's
But that's why you listen. That's why that West Ham game was big because we have West Ham. Tomorrow we have Watford, then Palace, then Norwich.
Yeah.
So
Problem is
you
you're
get
versing
you
those
got
12
Palace
points.
and you
Versing-
got Palace and Watford who now want to fight out of
Exactly.
But
relegation.
But that West Ham, but those are points we can take.
Yeah.
Those last two, if you secure it before those last two games, cool. But now it's like we lost that game. Now it's y'all on our tails catching, so it's up there. It's a fight.
The thing is with Chelsea. I mean, they're a great squad, and what Lampard's doing with the team is just amazing. I mean, he didn't really get the opportunity to come in and do transfers and do this
Right.
and do that. He's playing what he's had, and he hasn't really complained. He's definitely keeping his image up there. But the one thing that West Ham game that blew my mind is you knew they were gonna sit back and counterattack.
Can't break them down.
Yeah, so there had to be a game plan to go against that. I mean, they've done it for the first half where they just sat there and then they waited and they came past it to Antonio, and no credit taken away because Antonio that game his hold up play was world class. I mean, he was holding it up, he was causing problem for the Chelsea defense, and he was linking. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I just feel like that second half,
Credit
Lampard
to
should have seen it
Declan Rice
coming
too
up.
on that.
Yeah.
On
He was
that
playing for a
pass.
move that game.
That second game, Declan Rice,
He was playing
to
for a
captain
transfer,
to
bro.
captain that team at a young age at 21 years old. I have to say something though. It exposed that this market. I definitely think he did great signings, Lampard, but it shows you that Rudiger and Christensen were so vulnerable that game.
Yeah.
They
They're not
were
good enough.
so open. I don't know if I could say Rudiger is good enough. I think he needs support. Maybe that's why he was too busy covering Christensen. But that whole that right area was, and also I think Azzy Plekta is over for him. On that right side, I think it's time to use him on his rotational. So I think they need to focus.
But
on
you can't start Reece James the last 7 games. You can't.
Y'all are making some
Throwing
good
him in the
points, but
fire.
I can't forget that Rudiger is an international defender for Germany.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want
Christensen's
to
an
take it
international
from
defender
him.
for Denmark. Two top nations. But the way they play was perfectly set up for someone like Antonio. Hold up, big, strong, athletic.
Physical, yeah.
like Christensen is not he's not a
Right.
It was a game for Zuma. And the thing with Rudiger, he's not really. He didn't step that game. He needed to step up. We needed a leader in the back line, and he didn't show it. But
What was his back line again?
it was those two at center half, and then we had Marcos Alonso and Aspie.
And what's the reasons why that Reese is not starting,
You know
Tamori's
what?
not starting?
Okay, so with
and
Reese,
Zuma's not starting.
he came in against Villa the first game. He had a bad 10 minutes. Remember he got pulled off at halftime against Leicester in FA
Yeah.
Cup. So right now it's not looking too great for him. The thing with Emerson, he's just not in.
I think his head is somewhere else too.
Who? Reece James.
No, Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson's gone.
He's being talked.
Emerson's
Serie A
gone,
and
Another problem. I don't know if you guys peeped the first goal, the corner. Kepa, gotta go. Not good enough.
You think
We're
so?
not gonna
There's
win
times where
Champions
he-
League, Premier Leagues. We're not trying. Chelsea's not a team to challenge or to get top 4. We need to challenge and win trophies. We're not gonna do it with Kepa.
well, and let me tell
We're
you
not
this
gonna do
though,
it with Kepa.
and because you're bringing up Kepa, but like, get the two center halves from Leicester City, Johnny Evans and Sionchu. As a center back, it helps when you look behind you and you have Schmeichel.
Right.
You feel like you're comfortable with that. How comfortable you are kind of with Kepa?
Nah. He's a good.
I,
he's a
I
good
rate
penalty-
him though.
He's a good shot stopper, but
Good
stuff
enough,
like,
good enough to win the
He's
league.
looking like early De Gea right now. He's looking like flapping at crosses and like getting bodied up. Like when you play pick and roll in basketball, they're setting picks on him and he can't. He's stuck. He's in no man's land with crosses.
But here's the
and
thing
it's a
though.
goal. So
You
they're
say-
targeting him.
But you say he looks like early De Gea, but with De Gea, you live with it because you know what De Gea is going to become.
Right. We don't know.
Do you see Kepa becoming a
We don't know.
potential
I
world-class
think he has a
goalkeeper?
case.
But the thing is, also that team with De Gea, he still had Rooney, he still had Ferdinand, he still had Patrice Evra. We don't have those experienced guys
Yeah,
around him
exactly. Tell him to
to
calm
help.
down.
To,
Tell him to
yeah,
calm down.
we our back line is. I mean, we have Espilicueta, but is he
Should be.
really a leader?
Quick
like that?
question for you: how old is Kepa?
About 20,
23, I wanna say.
24.
That's we all know it's extremely young
It's
for a
young,
goalkeeper. I
goalkeeper,
mean,
it's
we're
young.
looking at Dean Henderson, who's like 20 something, and we're like, oh, that's the future for United. So I think for Kepa, you just got to give him a little bit of time. I see the
You can continue.
Yeah, I see the quality in Kepa, and I think it's more the defensive issues right now. I mean, looking at Chelsea in the beginning, when you guys were running with your little bit of form, there was never really like, oh, defense,
We weren't being
because
tested
Reece
like that.
James
Yeah.
was in form. You had Rudiger in form. You had Zuma, who was finally picking up back in form, even though he was out, So I don't think it's Kepa right now. I think it's just the team in the back just needs to work, and you need to just be
More as a
tighter.
team, yeah.
I don't think it's
We're
Kepa.
too open sometimes.
But,
It's too
and,
easy
but,
to play against.
and I will say this: we also got to remember, a lot of these guys are sorry guys.
Yeah.
So Lampard still doesn't have the personnel. Honestly, Kepa was a sorry signing.
And you remember the whole thing last season with the
Not coming off the
penalties?
field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that don't
Kepa
help.
didn't
him. Stuff like that don't help.
I don't think, the links with Chilwell. I don't think Alonso or Palmieri are the type of fullbacks he wants.
Yeah, I don't think they're staying.
So I think Lampard right now,
Zappacosta, what happened to that guy?
Oh,
he's on loan at
He
Roma.
out,
But
he out,
that's what I
he
think.
out.
Going back to, with the top 4, can Chelsea make the top 4 now? Yes. Next season compete for the title? I don't know, man.
I think they will. With
I
Timo, Hakim,
They need a center back and a
Conte.
left back.
They're not. He's not done yet.
It's
He's
the
gonna
same.
make-
It's the same thing with
Yeah,
Chelsea.
he's gonna make
Chelsea
more
looks like
signings,
they're in the same boat as United. I think
You guys
I think-
are closer, though.
I think even though
I think
you're
they're
ahead of
closer.
us, even though I think you're ahead of us in the table, I do think United might be just that one step forward. But we still have the same exact problems. We just don't have the rotational players, and I think even though you guys need a center back, I don't think your depth is there, just like United. And I think to become like a city, we have to do what they did. You have to go out, buy some star players like United is going out to Sancho. You don't stop there. You're going to need another center attacking mid because once Bruno or Pogba drop, once one of them gets injured, what happens now? Who are we looking for?
Or both.
Pereira?
Imagine both.
Lingard? We don't have any creativity. Mata is out of it. We need that one attacking mid, but we also have other positions that I know Ole is trying to reinforce before he reinforces the mid. So we'll have to see about that, but
Even Wolves coming through.
Wolves is looking
They're
great.
another one.
I'm afraid a lot of their players are going to get poached, though. I think Jimenez is being linked.
If they
Yeah.
break into top 4, they have a case for them to stay.
yeah.
Where?
Even
Even Europa League. I
yeah,
think.
you got to look at it. These are a group of guys that grew together from championship. They had a great run form of last season. They
Right.
decided to stick it together, and they are doing an amazing job this season. So I feel like one thing I have to give is definitely the Wolves, the board. I think the board is directing the system pretty well. They're getting the right plays that fit the system. They went and got the kid from Rochdale, Luke
Oh, yeah.
Matheson.
Yeah.
And we all know that kid's a super baller and what he did to United by himself. And when I was watching the video of them breaking down to him, where do they want him to play in his position and how he fits their style, that shows you the vision they have. They're not in a vision of, oh, we're just going to be a mid-table team and just rock into the Premier League as long as we can and not get relegated. Because there's some teams, for example, Aston Villa, West Ham,
Fulham.
They did pay a lot of money because they want to break into the European Championship, but it's very hard. So I think Nuno's doing a great job keeping that team spirit alive. And even if they do lose Adama or if they do lose Jimenez, we seen their transfer scouting.
They're smart.
They're very, very talented with getting these young players that are well known in like Portugal and Spain and so forth, and pick them up and then let's bloom them. So it's definitely a good tactic they're going with. So you can't rule Wolves out from the top four either. And they still have a case with the Europa League. They're still in it. United's still in the Europa League. Inter Milan. So Arsenal lost it. So you got, I think the only two English teams is United and Wolves. They might say we meet in the final and they beat us up. You never know.
Yeah, Nuno's one of the better managers in the league.
I think him and Chris Wilder definitely deserve a
super.
Similar to Sheffield United, I was going to ask you, do you think Wolves have the capability of maintaining a top 6 team? We've seen Sheffield United perform throughout the season, but we've also seen them fall. Do you think Wolves are going to follow that same path, or do you think Wolves are going to, create a different route for themselves? What is the difference?
I mean,
why?
you see a whole different styles of play and styles of players. You could tell Sheffield are like that. Those guys that the reason why they're having a great season because they're going on that field and they give everything their all.
Put in a shift.
They do not stop playing. They do not stop
Blue
running.
collar,
They're just those type of players that they're gonna get on the field and give it their all. And he has not spent any type of money except on Sanderberg and Oli McBurney.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to consider that. Now Wolves, those players this season, the caliber went from a 30 million, 40 million player to a 70 million player.
Yeah.
Which is Adama, Jimenez, Neto we've proven, Jota has proven, John Moutinho is a big baller. You know what I'm saying? Ruben Neves is.
Those guys are all international.
So you see it when we're just talking about that team, and you're just like, wow, these guys are ballers, right? And it's just big names. Leon
Dunker.
So Boli, it's like, wow, Rio Patricio.
Doherty's a baller.
Doherty's a baller, but Rio Patricio, that's the Portugal starting. You know what I'm saying? So it shows you like, all right, the Sheffield team, you have to totally give them credit because they're just blood, sweat, and tears. This Wolf team is an actually experienced talent that's just already now living up to their potential.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of comparison, as you could say. If Sheffield is backed up next season, Chris Wilder might be tested again. That's what I'm really rating Chris Wilder this season.
How
a
he
lot.
spends his money?
I definitely give him. No, I want to see him now, a second run. How he spends his money and what does he do? Does he go up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If they back him, or if he does stay in the Prem in the next couple years, how is his resume going to build? Because we had David Moyes in the past, where with Everton he was flying high with fifth place.
He got big dough, and then what happened.
And then boom, after going to United, he really didn't take advantage of that. Hopefully, I respect the guy. I really don't want to see West Ham go down, but it's just like it shows you, okay, maybe one good season. David Moyes had a great runs of seasons with Everton, but he never got to crack into the top four. So I want to see how Chris Wilder pans out. Definitely.
Yeah, just how the top 3rd, 4th, and 5th place is interesting.
Leicester?
We're looking at the bottom. I mean,
Leicester is a whole different topic.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth.
It's not the. Honestly,
I don't think they have the depth.
I think they actually have a great.
Yeah, they don't.
No,
Jameson Vardy, Madison is just like in another world.
I think they have a great bench.
Great bench, but to compete for the top 4, that's
gonna be tough. Competing against the squad.
Especially
Ayoye baller.
Because the point that you made about Paul like being a Watford player and you're seeing Pogba come off the bench. I mean, you go to Leicester City and Damari Gray and
not really
Dennis
like
Praet, good players, but they don't put fear in your
name
heart.
To name, it's a whole different story.
I mean
look at Chelsea's squad and United's squad.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's where
and then now you look at Leicester. Those two squads are squads that can maintain that form.
Right.
we can go through a little bump, but they get right back to it. I feel like Leicester's the type of team that right now, if they take the hit, especially during this time, it's gonna be a little harder to recover. And we've seen the couple of games where they're looking iffy. You know what I mean?
And does it help that Chilwell's head is kind of like, Chelsea
transfer in the
kind of
future.
reaching out, and
I think Brandon Rodgers, man, BR is a man that
he's a great manager.
he definitely he knows what he's doing. Maybe a couple signings will help him try to keep James Madison, try to keep Ben. You have to sit there. Sensational is gonna have a lot of hype around him, so that's gonna be tough. But if you really look at it, they do have a team. Johnny Evans is a man who won titles with United. Sonocho has proven pretty well this season. Then you have Pereira, and then you have Chilwell.
That's a good back four.
It's a very nice back four. Behind them, Schmeichel, another
Underrated,
won a Premier League title.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Playing in front, you got Ndidi.
Solid.
Super solid. You got Madison running the middle.
Yuri Tillemans. And then who's the right? Harvey Barnes is on the left.
Harvey Barnes, we all know this kid's going to be a problem.
Ayoze Perez.
And that's a great rotational player to have. A guy you pick off the bench.
But that's why.
Like
then
we said,
who you got coming off it? Marco Brighton. What you gonna? You're not gonna really stay in the top four with someone like
comparing
Marco
to the
Brighton.
teams that are right on Leicester's
Around them,
tail right now,
they're not.
it's a little more dangerous. I don't feel
Iheanacho's been back a little bit.
I don't think.
But that's what I'm
Iheanacho.
saying. We're talking about Iheanacho.
I just don't think Leicester right now is better than the 4th, 5th, and 6th
teams.
Yeah,
Wolves,
spot teams behind them. Yeah, I feel like these teams right now can, pull a little strings, do a little couple run right now, and get a couple W's, get a little 3 points, and push Leicester out at the top 4, and it really might happen. And before we wrap it up with the Premier League too, we've seen a lot of things happening in La Liga with Barca slipping up and giving Madrid the league. What do you think about that?
Oh, what do I think about that?
I think this season.
Look at his smile.
What's that smirk?
No, I mean, to be fair, listen, I've said it before the season started that the league should have been their only object. I didn't think Champions League was realistic. I think they are not right now. They're trailing City in aggregate. I said it. I don't think they're gonna win that tie, especially seeing City against Liverpool. They're not gonna win that tie. Win the league, get a trophy, and then next year we regroup.
I have a question for you. I have two questions.
And Barcelona's a shambles. Life is good.
Getting right to that right now.
My question to you. So, what are your thoughts on the Achraf Hakimi sale as a Madrid fan? And how do you think that would affect you in the coming future? And also, Rodrigo, a sign of talent we've seen in the beginning of the season. And ever since the lockdown started, I don't think he has gotten any type of minutes. So is there something playing a role there? The return of Asensio, is that causing to take his position? Well, as a Madrid fan, how do you want to assess that?
So the Hakimi deal is when you look at all the facts, because that's the thing.
That's Vitex.
When you look at it at its face value, it's a horrible sale.
Yeah, 100%.
You're looking at a right
price,
back.
the person,
40 million?
all that.
And he's an academy player.
What I don't understand, one thing. How is Inter getting away with these cheap sales?
It's crazy.
I mean, they're about to get robbed 20 million for Alexis Sanchez.
The thing is for him,
back to.
But why Inter? Like I was.
So I know, but that's what I was.
Conte's building
Exactly, but here's where I was going to go into the details about the deal. So what a lot of people need to understand, Hakimi's agent and Hakimi himself told Madrid, we're not coming back to the club to be Carvajal's backup. I just played at Dortmund for 2 years. I played 90% of the games, and I'm being looked at as one of the hottest prospects in world football.
He has a valid
right.
point.
So I'm not coming back to the club to be his backup, which is fair enough. I think, obviously, I wasn't in the room. I think the club looked at his agent and looked at Hakimi and said, "You're 100% right. But how can we look at Carvajal and say we're benching you for a 22-year-old?" Because that's what he wants. He wants to walk in and be starter day one.
He has a case, though.
He has a case, but what has Carvajal done to get benched? That's my issue.
The thing is, though,
Marcelo's different. Marcelo's been poor the last 2 seasons, which is why look at what Real's done at left back. You brought in Theo.
Mendy.
You brought in Reguilón. You brought in Mendy. They've always been looking for a guy to compete for Marcelo.
That got to be a sign to him.
Right.
That's a sign.
At right back, you brought in Danilo. Couldn't get Carvajal out the team. You brought in Ardiozola. Couldn't get Carvajal out the team. So you bring in Hakimi, which maybe he couldn't get him out the team.
Right.
But Carvajal has done nothing to just be benched.
Player to player, I think Hakimi is a better player. I mean, maybe Carvajal has the experience over him right now in the years. But overall, you don't gotta pay. You don't gotta look. You have your next 10 years right back set in stone. Why are you giving it up for 2 years or a year of Carvajal?
That's fair.
Yes, he's a legend for Madrid currently. Yeah. He's won a bunch of titles. He's done this. He's done that. But when it's time, it's time.
Now, here to your point, why you said Inter Milan, not just Conte. Look at the system. If you watch Inter Milan play, who plays right wing back for them? Victor Moses.
Yeah.
You replace Victor Moses with Achraf Hakimi, right? And I imagine Conte going up to you and your agent saying, listen, you sign with us. You walk into the team. And Madrid plays a back four. What does that mean? He has to defend as a right back. Not to say he doesn't defend as a right wing back, but the dude's going up way more than he's defending.
So he's gonna get more of that free Alexander.
What he had at Dortmund, correct?
Fits in seamlessly.
It's a project. Now, to your point, here's my thing. Why I'm not kind of up in arms with it. Does anyone realistically think I could be wrong? Does anyone realistically think Inter Milan within the next 1 or 2 years will be a powerhouse?
No.
I don't exactly. I don't think so. I don't even think they're top 3 in Serie A right now. I don't think that. No. You know,
who would you rate top 3 in Serie A?
I really obviously Juve, and I really like Lazio.
And then third,
Napoli could strengthen. But here's my thing:
a lot of players,
right? But
you got to give them that top 3 title.
But the point I was trying to make though is that how do we know 2 years from now? Let's say Hakimi does dominate, Inter's winning nothing. You don't think he's gonna want another move? I mean, and at that point, Real goes to him and said, "Listen, you're ready. Carvajal's 31, 32. We will always have the money to buy you back. That's what it is."
Now, does he go back?
Yes.
That is twice. That is twice. He is practically pushed out of the club.
Left. It's like he never really left. You know, another 2-year loan deal.
Does he come back? No, honestly, does he come back? If you're a player and the first time, all right, I get it. I'm a young kid. I'm gonna go for the loan, get experience. You get experience. You're proven. Like you said, you're considered one of the best right backs right now. You're considered the hottest prospect in defending. And you come back to your home club, and they're like, no, we just can't take you right now because we have Carvajal.
No, but you see, that's not what they said. They said you have to compete. He didn't want to compete. Guy wants to be a starter. That's my thing.
He deserves it.
Carvajal just want to
gotta compete. Now he gotta compete. He gotta
and Carvajal just want to lead.
Compete. Not for nothing.
Yeah,
he's gonna compete no matter what. He just needs to be told.
That's like signing Reece James and telling him, all right, you got to sit Bissaka. You got to let them compete.
Exactly.
You're gonna compete no matter what. Even if you're, Pogba competes for his position every single day. Even Ole said it. Every single player competes for his play. Right. So no matter who you are, you're gonna compete. I just don't think Madrid gave him the assurance of him being their next right back. I genuinely don't think that.
Right.
If they did it, you have your right back for the next 10 years. Yeah. Literally. If he keeps up the pace, you do not need to purchase anybody. You just got to solidify your left back position, right?
Right.
Figure out what's going on with the mid and attacking, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Now you got your powerhouse Madrid squad back.
But you got to understand, bro.
I think he goes back, though.
Exactly, because 2 years from now, I'm telling you, if Inter Milan wins no trophies, and Carvajal will be 32 at that time.
He's going to be looking.
Real's going to say.
How old Carvajal's going to be?
He's 29, turning 30 now. He's going to be 32.
But
you go back, and this is why I'm a fan of Florentino Perez. Florentino Perez is going to go, and he's going to be warm now, saying, listen, he'll even admit it. We might have made a mistake. Come back. You'll get your salary. You walk into the team. Now we can win trophies. That's how it's done. That's the only thing that can change that is if Inter Milan by some way somehow ends up becoming a European powerhouse, Champions League contenders, and end up winning.
How about
wait,
you guys? Oh, go ahead.
No, we're gonna say.
Now I was gonna ask the thought on Barcelona.
So I was gonna say, I think we could all genuinely consider, even though what happens in the future we can't tell. I think we all consider that a bad deal on Madrid's side. But speaking of bad deals, Barcelona's board is just absolutely garbage. They're absolutely garbage, and I want to point out that Messi's contract has been halted. He's not re-signing. He hasn't re-signed yet. I'm not saying he's gonna not re-sign for sure, but What makes you sure that Messi's staying
Bro,
forever?
the thing with Barca, we used to talk about United ever since Fergie left. All the signings you made, they've been 10 times worse.
100%.
They've been 10 times worse. Some of the deals
I wouldn't say 10 times
No.
worse.
They've been 10 times worse.
For sure.
That's a team
Because-
that was in the semifinal of a Champions League 2 times.
But because of
Bro.
who we just named.
But
Yeah.
not because of anyone they
couldn't-
signed.
Like
It's
he
because
said,
of Messi.
they couldn't fill the void of Neymar. Now
I think that bit them. They tried Usman. Usman got hurt.
But no, but
Because,
like,
like,
wait,
let's-
they couldn't even fill that void. But now consider Messi. That's your club legend. That is practically your club at this
I'm
point.
scared for them. Once he leaves, I'm scared.
Do you think it
I
could be an
just
AC
think-
Milan fall?
Oh, they're gonna at least.
They have too much money to fall like AC Milan. Because
But
someone
they've
did compare
had too
them.
much money now, and they're like, what are they doing? Todibo and Yerry Mina and all. Who like that's they're showing us who they are. Like they can't
Letting
recruit.
go of Arthur.
The thing is, when we think of Barca in their prime years, were they really successful because of signings? Not really. It was they need to go back to what made them successful. Maybe they're okay. The academy guys aren't as good as Xavi and Iniesta, but that was your identity. Why all of a sudden they just did a whole 360 and started signing guys from left field, Arturo Vidal and who, like you said, Usman Dembele. That's not them. That when has that ever worked
But
for them?
let's be real, guys. That Usman Dembele was not expected to fail like that.
Yeah.
He failed. Umtiti, same thing, injury prone, failed.
I think with
Langley, not good enough.
the luck of Barca, their board actually does get like renewed in like a year or two. So even if Messi
that too.
actually does leave, they still have a chance to redeem the club. But I mean, if Messi does leave, it's going to be a big hit, and it really
I
might
just think
take a turn for the bad.
after Pep,
I'll break it down.
they lost. They after Pep, they had Pep,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
they
one
had
of the
Tito.
greatest. Then they
Rest
went
in
and got
peace.
Tito, rest in peace, which was a pretty good coach.
They did well.
And then Luis Enrique was a great coach.
Mhm.
And then,
And then
Great.
Think
Great.
but I don't. I think Luis Enrique.
Anytime you're in trouble, he's great.
Luis
You
Enrique-
can coach that front three when the trouble. Come on, man.
Nah, let's not go there.
Yo, nah,
But why
you
get
don't really
Quinton?
lose
Why get
Enrique?
Quinton?
Huh?
Why does Barca go and chase the current manager?
Oh,
Who is
so,
that
okay,
guy?
okay,
What-
all right, so this is my thing.
And Valverde was not bad.
Here, but you see, you brought up the Usman Dembele. You want to know why he failed? Obviously, it's the injuries. Dude, Barcelona as a culture is toxic. and people might look at this video and say that I'm being biased. Bro, think about it. Zidane, how many years has he been at the club
As a player and coach?
as a coach?
What, 5 years?
5 years.
About 5 years.
How many years did Pep do? 4,
4.
right? Pep is born and bred from their academy, that
Everything.
institution. He's pro-Catalan. There's a reason he left after season 4. There's only so much you can take, right? So my issue with Barcelona is, yes, they've made terrible signings, but who in that club, player, board, director, is literally guiding the ship? Because is it fair for Messi to kind of say, listen, I need to put everyone in check, but Messi's not like that. No. Messi's very passive, even when he's on the field. He'll dominate with his game. Go back to the Roma game. Go back to the Liverpool game. Things are not going well. Head down, walking. You know what I mean? My issue with Barcelona is this: if Messi does leave in 2021, not only does Barcelona need to clean house, I think the first person that they should actually call up is not a player. You see if you get Pep back.
That could be an option.
That's a guy comes in and changes the entire culture.
Yeah.
He's going to demand, listen, this is what we did from 08 to 2012.
Bring back some
We're going to go
stability.
back into that. Messi is, we're talking about arguably the greatest ever play. He's not a culture changer, though. He's not.
Because you see, the thing is, Ronaldo doesn't get forced to do things. Like, I feel like Messi's having to, like, steer the ship. Ronaldo's allowed to play. I feel like Messi is having to worry about too many different things, like what's going on in the headlines, what's going on in the board. While Ronaldo, we're just enjoying him play.
Yeah.
So that, like you said, that culture change needs
It is.
it needs to
I
get
like
fixed.
that point you
Yeah.
made with the
Well,
toxic environment.
yeah,
It's
and,
OD
because, and that's the
toxic.
thing, though, because Ronaldo's not afraid to jump.
Right.
He'll go to United and go to Real and go to Juve, and at all 3 stops,
Win.
whoever's the board is saying, this guy's not afraid to leave.
Right.
You have a Messi who they know, this guy's loyal. Is he really leaving in 2021? Messi will say it. Oh, listen, I don't know. Where is he gonna go? Is he really gonna go to Man City with the idea that what if Pep leaves?
Yeah.
Who's coaching City? You get me?
And
He
he's still,
can't go to, and arguably the best club in the world, he can never put their colors on. Can never go to Madrid. He's going to join Ronaldo at Juve?
Wait, he said the best club in the world. That's what
It's
he said.
debatable.
You heard him throw that in there?
I don't know.
Come on,
May-
let's-
hold
Like he
on.
just threw that in the best club
It's
in the
getting a
world.
little hot down here. Maybe I'm
No,
hallucinating.
but seriously, where would Messi go?
Yeah, and he's not going back to Argentina. He's got too many years at the top.
And unlike Ronaldo, I don't think Messi will like Serie A.
So I mean, the only answer for this,
Saying.
the only answer for this is you just gotta wait and see. And
2021.
wait for the future and see what happens.
Hopefully,
And,
no Corona then.
Sign
Yeah,
Pep.
I mean-
Honestly, if I was them, sign Pep.
For the footy viewers, I mean, we appreciate y'all greatly.
I missed y'all, man.
Facts, bro.
Facts. I hope everybody's staying safe, especially in these times.
I want the roast in the comments again, please. Bring that back.
We want to bring back the fans, bring back everything, man. It's a little tough right now with the empty stadiums and all that, right? So it's a little boring, but soccer's there, football's there. We still watching, we enjoying it, and I hope y'all enjoying this too. So footy fanatics out.
Ski you.